How can you take control of your life? How can you finally let go of those limiting beliefs that have been holding you back for the past few decades, stopping you from growing and leveling up? How can you step out of your comfort zone and unleash your full potential for your business and your personal life? Hi, and welcome to the Self-Worth Accelerator podcast. My name is Sonia Maria Horn, and I'm a mindset and success coach with focus on your self-worth. And every single week, I will be talking with you about how you can raise the awareness of your full potential and unleash those powerful tools for maximum wealth and inner peace. Find out everything about how to stop procrastination so you can finally empower yourself from within. You can do this, and I'm here to show you exactly how. So let's get started right now.
I have a question for you to kick off tonight's show, really. And my question for you tonight is, are you full of toxic self-doubts? Are you sitting at home on your sofa? Are you kind of questioning your own ability? Are you asking yourself, am I good enough? Are you talking to yourself and saying, oh, there's no way I could ever do that? Have you got a little idea, a dream maybe, and a business plan? Or would you like to help people in some way? Have you got things that you've always felt that you'd like to do, but there's something just within you that goes, no, can't do it, not gonna happen, it's not for me? Would you really like to be a high achiever in some way, shape or form, but you really just don't have the belief within you that you can do it? Well, if that's you, stay put and listen, because tonight's show is for you. Tonight I am absolutely delighted to have the lovely Sonia Maria Horn, all the way from Germany. She was actually born here in the UK, in Ireland. I'm going to find out more about that. But she was brought up in Germany, and I am delighted to be connecting with her today via Zoom, the magic of technology, so that she can help us and guide us to get rid of those toxic self-doubts. Sonia, welcome to the Wednesday Wellbeing Show.
Hi, dear Amanda. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really blessed to be here.
It's so lovely to have you on. Before we get into the good stuff and the nitty-gritties of how do we get rid of those toxic self-doubts, just tell me a little bit about yourself, because I know that you're a multi-talented, multi-skilled therapist, coach. I'm not quite sure how you would describe yourself, but you've got all of these different amazing tools and techniques to really help guide people. But tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, thank you, Amanda. I'm happy to. So, yeah, basically, I consider myself really a mind expert, because from my awareness, it's very broad, the power that we carry within us. I don't want to put a label on it. However, based on my own life story, I've chosen this path of graduating as an RTT therapist a few years back. I was one of the first RTT therapists in Germany when Marissa Peer started going global with this beautiful method. It's RTT is basically a mix out of hypnotherapy, NLP, and this cognitive psychology, and it offers a brilliant solution-oriented approach and guidance for the clients. And having experienced it myself, I just had to, I wanted to help and bring it out there and help my clients and my, followers. So I basically, on my own life story, I started looking and studying mindset and the power of the subconscious mind, I must admit 3 decades ago. Looking back, and it's really I'm 51 now, but I started in the early days, always reading and watching videos and stuff like that. So I first, the deep dive into this topic though started after when I was living in Thailand. I lived in Thailand for 5 years, and when I was getting closer to my divorce, and I realized, where am I? You know, I had two girls, and I wasn't happy. And sadly, I mean, we often hit rock bottom, or we often reach a point where we think there's no return, and that makes us grow. And that really gets us into this mode of finding solutions, right? However, I decided to get a divorce, and that's when I really plunged and had this deep dive into this power of the subconscious mind. And I was searching everywhere. I was following Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Eckhart Tolle. At the time, it was Wayne Dyer. I was fascinated about. Esther Hicks at the time was a bit too far off still. I wasn't there yet. She wasn't like, she seemed a bit too far away from me because I was still on planet Earth. However, now I've expanded, and it's so powerful. And I made it my passion basically now to pass on those tools that I found for myself at the time when I was really rock bottom. I was financially destroyed because I left my husband. He was hurt. He was from Iran, or he's from Iran. My two beautiful girls, Roya was only 1 at the time, Sheila was 5. So I was a single mom coming back to Germany to, you know, my family for support, and not knowing what I was going to do. Where was I going to make money? And how was I going to find, you know, my own, you know, my true happiness? And I was really in a depression. I took the kids to kindergarten, to school, and I went back home and I lay in bed, and I just couldn't make myself get up and function. And I was just functioning the bare minimum that it took for a mother to do, right? And it was, looking back at the time, I didn't realize it, but looking back, it was a depression. It was really just burned out and really, really low and helpless. Yeah. And I was looking more and more, the more I realized where I was at and the necessity to do something. I did a therapy myself, and it ended up being 5 years of psychotherapy with analysis. It was like this talking Freudian and therapy. And my therapist, he was amazing. He was also kind of spiritual. However, I found myself babbling on about the negativity, about the negative things in my life that were happening. And also kind of, I realized that at times he would talk, you know, he would talk a lot. Actually, I'd make him talk. And I found myself kind of being the therapist to him, because we were like, sometimes the lesson would turn around and I would kind of talk to him about his issues. And I thought, what's going on here? I'm supposed to be the client, and I'm supposed to be healed. And like, as inspiring as he was on a spiritual path, but I just realized I need solution. I want to offer people a solution. And that's where hypnotherapy and RTT came into my life. And that's what I loved about this method. And I think that's what it should be about, like really solution, and not turn around in circles and be stuck in our old patterns and our old things that, you know, that happened to us in the past, and not actually manage to step out of those old patterns and behaviors.
It's so important, isn't it? When you're in a place where you do feel really low, really exhausted, really helpless, if you've been through any kind of relationship breakdown, but particularly a divorce can be so painful. I mean, I was joking with my mate the other day about the effects of lockdown, and we were saying, oh, there's going to be loads of babies. I think there is going to be a load of babies. Yeah. And I think there's possibly going to be quite a few divorces as well. I think people have been thrown together all the time, 24/7 in lockdown. I think that's put, you know, a serious amount of pressure on people's relationships, in addition to that financial challenges and other things that have cropped up, and all the fear that's been around and fed to us by the media. I don't know what it's been like in Germany, but certainly here I know there's lots of really scared people and coming back out into reality, whatever this reality is now, has been really tough. So, you know, when you're in that place where you're low and exhausted and feeling fear-filled or helpless in any way, you want a solution. You don't want to always go and talk about it and say, you know, this is the terrible thing that happened to me. Because of course, when we're discussing with people the terrible thing that's happened, we're reliving it all in our heads again, and it's like re-traumatizing us. It's hurting us again. And you know, I'm sure we've all had moments where we've remembered something, a moment, and it's made us feel extra happy, or we've remembered a moment that was really sad and we've cried when we've remembered it. Similarly, when you're talking about your negative experiences, all the emotions can be coming out, and sometimes you don't really feel like you're actually getting very far. Now, I know that hypnosis, and in particular RTT, is really powerful at kind of stopping that from actually happening. It gets to the root of the problem. Tell me a little bit more about your personal experience of RTT.
Yeah, it was the most fascinating experience, really, was because we go back, we're guided back in a protective environment to a scene or experience that caused this issue. Let's say for self-worth or fear or anxiety, whatever it is, whatever caused this issue that we realize now is holding us back from thriving, from expanding, from growing. We go back to that incident, and not seldom it's, you know, between 0 and 7 years old, from birth to 7. That's where we're really, you know, where our beliefs are created. So anyway, so I went back to those. It wasn't for me now 7, it was 14. But anyway, it's some incident in the past that caused this issue to be manifested and to be created, and it grows gradually from there, because we're feeding it. We're being fed by parents who ever say something, who give us a dirty look, who just, you know, body language is, like, you, as you know, more than a million words sometimes. So anyway, whatever created this issue, this fear, this anxiety, or for us to smoke, as you know, it happened in the past, whenever that was. And going back to that incident and looking at it, but as a perspective, like an eagle, outside, you're not reliving it, you're just, you know, just watching it. And this understanding, this bridge between, oh, that's why, and this understanding, like, that was in the past. I was only a child then. It was age appropriate. That has nothing to do with me now as an adult. And that was the most powerful, and really it felt like a breakthrough in my own personal development. And now I experience it on a daily basis with my clients, that I see, wow, you know, the aftermath, this effect it has on them afterwards, when they come to this conclusion and this realization that it has nothing to do with us now, and detaching and kind of coming to peace with this old version of ourselves, let me call it like that, or this child, this inner child, and, you know, taking this inner child, embracing it and bringing it into our powerful now, into this life as an adult, or as a, you know, whatever age you have. But that was the most powerful experience, and that helped me huge. It helped me to transform.
So it's like going on an imaginary trip back to the root cause of whatever it was that's causing you to feel stress, anxiety, whatever negative thought, feeling, or behavior is being carried out or lived out in your life now, fear, hopelessness, whatever it is. And it's helping you to see where that came from, and kind of seeing it from a different perspective, So you're learning from that experience. You're learning about how strong you were to get through it. You're learning about how courageous you were to survive it. You're learning how justice is important for you, because you recognize that people behaved wrongly around you, or it's just seeing an aspect of yourself that's strong or beautiful in a different way, and seeing how you managed to survive that incident. But also what I loved what you were saying is really disconnecting from that in a way that stops that event from impacting you now, because that event was in the past. Exactly. And it has nothing to do with who you are right now. But for many of us, we've been through really troubling times, and those troubling times are having an impact now. So I guess if you're a sort of person who's feeling any of those things as a result of your experiences, this is perfect for you.
Absolutely. And I like to emphasize the fact that whatever happened in the past, I mean, it could also be well-being of the parents. Yeah, they're overly protective, or they want to, just do right, or they act, from their own upbringing. Obviously, it's just a generational. We're passing it on unless we shift it. But I like to emphasize the fact that whatever is created, whatever belief or limiting belief is created, it's always there to protect us. It's always been created, or these, even if they're toxic or not serving us now, they're always there. They have been created in order to protect us. And that's also what we do in a session. We kind of come to peace with this part in us that has created these issues. And we say thank you, but now it's time to move on. So, and that's so powerful. Or like procrastination is another topic I love, because I think a huge part of us can relate to that. Some more, some less, obviously. But I tended to really procrastinate on certain things sometimes, and I would just put them off. Put them off until tomorrow. I can do that tomorrow, whatever.
I love a good procrastinate myself. I quite often, I deliberately let myself have a day where I procrastinate. But what is procrastination?
It's actually something that was initially there to save us or to help us, because we're living in a society for many, many years now, who are driven to be successful, whatever success means to the individual of us, but to earn lots of money, to have a beautiful partner, to have kids, whatever, to have a big house. And procrastination basically is, let me define it as putting off something despite it's going to be good for you. You're going to benefit from it, but you're still putting it off. Yeah. And not doing it even. But what I'm saying is we all have this value, or this image of success, and we're taught from day one to be successful in school. We're being evaluated, we're being given grades. So our understanding of success, I put it this way, basically, it's an understanding of our own expectation on ourselves. Then we have that performance. We're taught that performance equals the ability that we have, equals our worth. So we're being defined whether we're performing or not, right? And if we don't perform, if we have an F, or I don't know, here it's a 6 in Germany. So if we're not performing, if we have bad grades in school, we're not considered worthy. Yeah. And I mean, how sick is that? But that's how the society works. So we're being identified, or we're being taken as an individual, whether we're worthy or not, based on our performance. Important key issue now, or the key message for me, is that this tendency to procrastinate is actually quite normal in the human body, or in the human being, because long ago, when we were just primals or whatever, we have to save energy. And wanting to be successful means that we're actually using lots of energy. And in order to survival is really that we're saving our energy, and we just do the bare minimum. Yeah, when we go out hunting animals, we just do it in order to feed ourselves. So it's all just the bare minimum we have to do in order to survive. Now, success, however, takes obviously much more energy from us. Yeah. And the thing is that we have to identify what actually success means to us. So if we find success, like it always has this weight. We're taught, like in school, like I said, or in a job that we're doing just to pay the bills we're passionate about. It's all about our perception on where we actually want to go, what success means.
Really interesting, because, you know, like what you say about success and how we even understand what success is for us. Because I remember I wasn't a very good student at school. I was far too talkative. What a surprise. What a surprise. My school reports always said Amanda talks too much and could do better.
Talk over more.
But I really struggled with reading and writing, and because I was such a good talker and I had quite a good brain, and I was able to understand a lot of sort of complex ideas and theories and perspectives, but I just wasn't very good at writing it down. And it was so frustrating that I was being assessed at school on my ability to write things down and not necessarily on my ability to understand things. So I was always kind of just one of those students that just scraped through and just got by. It was just enough, just to pass, just to get through. And it was only really when I went to college that they said, oh, there's something not quite right here. And they assessed me and said I had dyslexia, but then proceeded to put me into a special needs class with people who had really kind of big, quite challenging behaviours, learning disabilities that were quite severe, visual impairment, hearing problems, quite challenging learning disabilities. And I arrived into my special class that was going to help me with my reading and writing. And I thought, oh my goodness, now please don't be offended, anyone listening, but I thought, oh my goodness, am I really meant to be here? Is this how bad it is? And proceeded to then rebel, drop out and jack it all in as a bad job, you know. And it's hard, isn't it, when we're being assessed and told that our only way to succeed is to succeed in an academic way. And if there's something wrong with you, you need to go in some kind of special class. Isn't no wonder, is it, that as adults we either give up or we never even give anything a go, or when we do give things a go, we get nervous, or we're afraid, or we think, I'm just gonna, I don't even know where to start, so I'm gonna procrastinate today.
Yeah.
So
and that's the conflict between this, you know, this high expectation that we set for ourselves, and then at the same time this high success orientation, like we want to be successful, and there's this fear of failure at the same time, and they're pulling, you are over striving, and then the mountain gets so big that we say, we're just rather going to do nothing at all, just going to go lay on the couch and do it, because it's just draining the energy alone, you know, if you think of success.
Exhausting.
Yeah. So the key to actually thriving and to being successful in the term that you define for yourself, each individual, is really to define success as something beautiful, something we're really thriving for. Because even my girls now in school, you know, I get the feedback from the teacher, oh, once she's interested in a topic, she's all chitty chatty. But the moment they're not interested, or the teacher is boring or whatever, they shut down. You know. So it's about really how we perceive the definition of success, or where we're actually thriving.
But our ideas about what success is often very skewed, isn't it? Yeah. Success means we've got billions of followers on Instagram. Success means we've got the car that we want. Success means, and when people do tend to measure success in terms of like monetary things, wealth, objects, things. How would you say that you measure success, and what's your kind of explanation of what do you feel success is?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I am guilty I do love a nice house. I'm a nice car. I'm a freak for cars. I must admit, I love cars, especially fast and big, whatever. So yes, that is a kind of a something that defines success for me. However, in the big picture, it's really, really, it all boils down to the fact of which I am now, like living our dream or living a job or practicing a job that is really fulfilling, that doesn't feel like work. You know it yourself. You're doing it as well. It's just,
I know, I love my job.
yeah, it's naturally, and it's so rewarding, and it's just the ultimate. And that's what I want for my clients as well. It's just like really find the true purpose, and those get rid of anything that's holding them back. And that brings us back to this limiting beliefs, because they are beliefs like those fears and this lack of self-worth. I'm not good enough, I can't do this, because we were taught this all our life or whatever, or in our childhood. It's so deep down inside, and once we break free from those limiting beliefs, once they're dissolved, then we can actually look, what do I want? How do I define success? What makes me happy? And it's really, in my opinion, like if my daughters ask me what's the purpose of life or what's our purpose of being here, it's really just being happy all the time.
Yeah. So very similar to me, I measure my success in how much joy I have experienced in the day. How much joy did I experience today? How happy was I a day? Yeah, pretty joyful, pretty happy. Great. I am successful. I love it. But to be successful, I really liked what you were saying earlier about the benefits of procrastination, because we do need to kind of reserve our energy. And after I've had a good sesh where I've been procrastinating and I've not been doing it. Actually, last week, I don't know if have you heard of Downton Abbey? Do you have Downton Abbey?
I know it all.
It's global, everybody knows. Right, okay. For some reason, I had managed to get through the last however many years of my life without watching this series. And last week, I got stuck into it. Oh my goodness, it's addictive. I procrastinated week but I actually was watching Downton Abbey. But because I had that time off and I had that time of relaxation, and I kind of like Downton Abbey is based very near my hometown of Ripon in North Yorkshire.
Oh, really?
So I was kind of, it's Ripon, and it's there. I got really excited about it. But I find after I've had given myself space to procrastinate, I find that my creative energy is more present. I've got more energy. Really? I like a bit of procrastination. I find it helps.
I love it. I love that, Amanda. And that's so true. Because in order to be creative, we need to be in a good space, no? And that's exactly the point. And that's another thing. If you ask somebody who's I had a client not so long ago, and she was describing herself as a procrastinator. She has become a procrastinator. She was actually impersonated as a procrastinator, and it was all negative for her. It was all, she was beating herself up, and people are judged as being lazy. It's a form of weakness. We're lacking motivation, bad in our work, we're useless if we procrastinate. No, I like to differ, because like you say, sometimes it has to be in a healthy balance. You can be really productive in 1 or 2 days, and then procrastinate again, as long as we don't lose focus of where we're, because obviously it makes us happy. That's another thing. The brain is actually, we create dopamine when we finish tasks. It is also in our nature to finish tasks, and the brain is programmed so that if we finish, and that's why it's so important to do baby steps, or to have little tasks, if we have a big one, a big vision or something, to take baby steps in that direction. And the moment we have completed a task, it's a great feeling, and we love it, don't we? Ticking one thing off the list,
I love ticking things off my list.
We all do, I think. And that's why it's a great thing. But just allow yourself. That's so beautiful that you say that, to also, take a time out and then be creative.
Yeah. Now, today I have got a massive list, a massive to-do list, and I have not managed to tick anything off my to-do list today. I always have my list of things I must do, and then I have my list of things to do. I've managed to do the must-dos, but the A list, if you like, but I haven't got anywhere on my B list yet today. Productivity is hugely important for success. Yes, we need that time out to rest, perhaps procrastinating, perhaps being creative, doing those things that stimulate us and get us excited about life, finishing those tasks. We've got those lovely positive vibes and neurochemicals flowing around our bodies. How do we make sure that we are productive enough so that we can be effective enough in what we're doing? How do we go about creating positive personal productivity? Positive personal productivity. I just came out. I don't know where that came from. Positive personal productivity. How do we get that?
Yeah, well, for me personally, like you just described, regardless now from really, tackling the underlying issues, that are on a subconscious level, this is a whole different story. That in order to get there, we need to be hypnotized or go really in a subconscious level, right? And like change the whole mindset by repetition, by listening to audio every day for 21 days or whatever. And this can go alongside. But what you're addressing is kind of the practical side of the matter, now that really the hands-on tools, and like you say, just the lists and really prioritizing, that is so important. And really having the priorities at the very top. And like you said, creative, there's also a form of creative procrastination where you have to do this is really important, you have to make that phone call, but instead you go away and start cooking, or you start painting that picture that you're painting, or writing that book that you're writing, which is also, obviously on a list. But the priority, it's really about setting the focus. And I love that you have this A list and this B list, because that's how we really
I have A, B, and C every day.
So that's what it's about.
And the C list sometimes just doesn't get ever done until Friday afternoon. But
unless it's moving up to the B and the A phase, then. But it's I think it takes. And I'm sorry to say, but it does take some sort of discipline. Yeah. The thing is that we want to make this a good going, exercising or eating healthily. We all know what it means. However, and it can become familiar. It's for me, it's all about making the unfamiliar familiar, because if you do it and repeat it, it becomes much nicer. I remember, it's a long time ago, but when I worked out really on a regular basis, and it's not the case at the moment, I'm trying to get there, but I will. It was really, I missed it. When I went for a run 3 times a week, I missed it when I didn't. And now it's like, what? Really? And that's where I'm heading at the moment. I'm getting there, but it's so rewarding and it's so nice to actually do it. And this edge, we have to overcome this block that's, keeping us from. And once we experience this beautiful feeling of it actually feels good, then we'll do it. And that's the same with the tasks that we're setting for ourselves and that are in the A list. It feels so good to get them done and do this done tick.
Yeah, I love it. So those elements of organization and structure that you need to have in place. But what I really liked what you said is like elements of self-discipline. You need to kind of like, sadly, it's just do it sometimes. Just do it and have the discipline to get up and do it. I loved what you said about making the unfamiliar familiar, that discipline, that cycle of getting up and making your bed. That's my discipline. Because I never used to make my bed. So I get up and I make my bed. And there's something about making my bed in the morning that sets me up for the day. I know I'm up, I'm ready, the bed's made, done. And I like to open the window as well. Make the bed, open the window, and then I have my little spiritual breakfast. But I have these routines that I do, which really help me. And they were were a bit of a challenge, if I'm honest, to begin with. I didn't want to get up at the same time every day. Sometimes I was tired. I do have days off where I can do what I want, but on my working days, I did find that elements of the self-discipline were challenging, especially sort of the idea of, doing any kind of mind exercises or mind benefits like meditation or yoga, or even just getting out and doing some exercise. I would have been exactly like you. I'd rather lie on the sofa and eat chips. We're high-fiving on the sofa and eating chips. But you have to kind of, make the unfamiliar familiar. And you were saying how that takes 21 days.
Yeah, that's the bare minimum. And it's fascinating. I mean, I've just learned it myself, obviously, from other years. But I know as well that even in Mexico, the old curanderos are those old tribes. Even it goes back to that time. And weren't they so wise? And it's a fact that the brain, to set this neurological pathway, the new neurological pathway, because we're so conditioned. We take the same wet path, or the same street doesn't work, and everything is kind of in this comfort zone. And in order to expand, take a different path, make a different choice, just in baby steps. And I love what you said about the morning routine, because that's actually a huge part of my program, the new program that I'm launching in 2 weeks.
Ooh.
I'm
going to talk to you more about your program shortly, but I'm interested in what you were saying about getting out of your comfort zone, because we do. I think what we see and what we experience and how we orientate ourselves in the world, when we think about like, where do we go and what do we do? My world used to be much bigger. My world is much smaller. I used to travel quite a lot, so I used to visit lots of different parts of the world. My world was much bigger. I used to have a bigger group of friends, and I used to travel up and down the country to see them. My world was bigger, and I think just because of the last sort of 18, 19, 20 months, however long it's been now, my world got very small at one point. In fact, at one point my world consisted of a couple of rooms in my house, and a trip to the supermarket.
Hey,
and that was it. That was all I did for a really long time. And I think I've started attempting to step outside of my comfort zone, and sort of take action. And I've done that because of two different things. First of all, I'm a social person and I enjoy getting out and about. And I recognize the fact that my world has become very small and I want it to be bigger again. And there's the kind of, a drive to kind of be inspired by other people and mix with lots of different people and connect with lots of different people. And I want to hug lots of people as well. I'm dying to hug loads more people. But one of the reasons that I really got out of my comfort zone, I don't know if you know, but I started doing mixed martial arts recently, MMA, punching things. I'm very much quite a tranquil, chilled out, jolly person. So to do something like violent and like boxing, when actually I'm not even sure how good it is for you. Fantastic. I deliberately chose it because it got me out of my comfort zone. And at the time I was faced with a real big health condition. I'd been diagnosed with heart failure. And the fear, the absolute fear of that label, I don't have heart failure now. I have worked on my own health and I've used the power of hypnosis and I've used a lot of physical interventions and I've eaten well and I don't have heart failure anymore. But I was, to be quite honest, the thing that caused me to take action was fear in that sense. So for me, I am an action taker. I do take action. I enjoy stepping out of my comfort zone. How do we motivate ourselves to take action?
Exactly, that's the key word. It's about motivation. What benefit do we see on the other side? That's exactly the point. Which is, again, a procrastination topic, because if we don't see the value of what's on the other side or the benefit for us, there's nothing driving us there. So the motivation has to be there. And I can be quite lazy, and However, I know what I want. I want to feel good. I want to feel fit, and I want to feel healthy. And I know what I, put into my body. So that's a motivation in itself. And I think to not to beat ourselves up too much. Like if we're turning around in circles and stuck in this comfort zone, and we realize, oh, I tried again and I failed, and setting those milestones on those bar and not reaching them, that's frustration again. And then we, like for example, now I've been trying to fast for do some fasting. I've watched on Gaia, I watched a show on fasting, and I'm so
I'm only laughing because I did that. I bought this amazing book and I'd read all about how amazing it was. It was the Fast 800 program, and I thought, I'm doing this, I'm on it. I managed like half a day, and I hit the chocolate bars. I was hungry. I don't want to be hungry. I don't want to restrict myself. For me, I have to fuel my body with the right things, and fasting just wasn't going to work for me.
And you feel even more shy, and it's just like
I was really angry with myself, and then I thought, it's just not for me, let it go. But I know that
so I've started to do actually, but I know I failed so many times in the past, and the motivation wasn't there, and now I'm just really motivated, and I'm going to make it this time. Just get past those 2 days and then it'll work. So but it's really it's a fine line. It's a fine line of really seeing the whole purpose and really getting into that habit. This new habit, the new familiar.
New familiar. Absolutely. Stepping into the new familiar. You were talking before a little bit about perception, and I kind of stopped you from talking about how we alter perception and the power of the subconscious mind. We're particularly talking about it in terms of how do we perceive our personal productivity? How do we go about putting things into action if we don't have that motivation? How do we rise above those lower vibrations of procrastination that are not actually helping us be creative, that they're just keeping us stuck? And we talked about how we need to have the value of the outcome. We need to value the outcome. But how do we go about, how do you believe that the subconscious really plays into? I mean, I obviously know because I'm a hypnotherapist myself. But tell me about what you think about the subconscious and the power that it has.
Well, from my experience now, and from my experience with the clients, to me, subconscious is everything. It drives us. It's like our thoughts, what we think on a daily basis. And like Joe Dispenza says, I don't know, was it 6,000 to 9,000, 6,000 to 7,000 thoughts we have a day? And I think something close to 90% are the same thoughts every day.
I just think a lot of them are just junk thoughts, really.
Being aware of the thoughts, because the thoughts create our emotions create our actions. So our thoughts drive our actions. So we're actually acting, we're doing what we're doing based on everything on the past, on our thoughts, on our belief system, on our beliefs, and that's all subconscious. Like, everybody knows this iceberg, and the tip of the iceberg, there are our actions, our behaviors, but at the bottom is this huge 80-90% of actually subconscious matter that's driving us to do that.
It's a huge driving force, isn't it? I mean, we don't have to think about how we how we digest even our spaghetti bolognese that we've had for tea. Our bodies just do it automatically. We don't think about, we don't think, I'm gonna make my skin go all goosey, I'm gonna breathe a bit faster, and I'm gonna jump about a bit when we watch a scary thing a scary moment in a horror movie. Or we don't think about when you're watching a lovely romance and you go, oh, soft and lovely. You don't think about the physical reactions that your body is having. All those reactions are coming from your subconscious. It's mind-blowing how We think we're all in control, but actually it's our subconscious that really is, isn't it?
And isn't that powerful? The awareness of that.
Massive.
Think about a lemon juice, or think about a lemon slice and then just biting into it. Ooh, I'm spot on. I always straight away I get this, water into my mouth. There we go again and swallow. But my favorite one that I use in my class when I'm teaching people about the power of suggestions and the power of words that we use when we're talking to ourselves and the power of images that we imagine in our minds. I get and you can do this if you're listening, I get them to imagine there's a 2 foot wide plank of wood and it's like 12 foot long. So it's 2 by 12. It's nice and wide. It's nice and long. And I get them to imagine that it's on the ground and they can just walk from one end of it to the other and they can walk nice and smoothly. I get them to imagine walking across that plank, and then I get them to imagine that plank up in the sky between 2 tall skyscrapers, and the plank is now resting on a window ledge. It's secure, but it's now very, very high up. And I say to them, do you want to walk over it again? And the amount of people go, no, I'm not walking, not even in my imagination am I doing that. Yeah. All we've done is we've just added in the suggestion of fear. That's all it is. It's just a suggestion of fear. And that simple, small suggestion of fear has stopped us from carrying out the action. I just feel like we have got lots of little things that cause us to have fears, and those toxic self-doubts, they are suggestions that we're making to ourselves that bring about fear. Yeah. How do we go about booting them out? Exactly. Go and see you.
Book a session, have some hypnosis. It's amazing, isn't it?
It is.
We can make simple changes using simple but really powerful techniques.
Yeah.
And help people to get rid of the fear. Powerful subconscious. All right, I've waited all interview. Now's the time. The Visionary Masterclass. This is your new program. I am so excited. It sounds amazing. Tell us all about it.
It's my baby. I've worked a lot on it. I've put a lot of energy and love into it, and all based on my own journey. The emphasis is on, or the purpose of it is really to come to that awareness of what you want. Where do you want to be in like 6 months or in a year? Where do you want to see yourself? It's a step-by-step program really to guide you from where you are now, and then obviously if you're not happy where you're now, to where you want to be. It's a step-by-step program, and it includes this morning routine that you mentioned earlier on. And it's really for people to take this first step into personal development, personal growth. And it starts with the morning routine. It starts with this waking up in the morning. We've slept, all our mind is like relaxed, it's cleared, it's, on a reset basically, because sleeping is
fresh.
Right? Fresh. We wake up, and that's such a key element. What do we do in the morning in order to kind of create our day, on a daily basis, and having a big vision in the future, but basically pursuing it in baby steps on a daily basis, setting intention, journaling, writing down your intentions, meditating. Whether it's guided or in silence, I do both. I like guided, and sometimes I just do it in silence, which is also.
I like both. I had a bit of a rude awakening, or maybe not. That's maybe not quite the right way to describe it. But I really wanted to get into meditation, and I'd looked at all the science of the benefits of it, and I thought I wanted to give it a go. I've got a very busy mind, so I thought it would be good. So I booked myself to go on one of these silent retreats. So it was a bit of a baptism by fire, and. We weren't there very long, and I was asked to be quiet. That's a tough challenge for me anyway.
We were from the school time.
we'd had this lovely, very lovely vegan food, but to be quite honest, I hadn't had a great deal of food and I was hungry. So we'd had this vegan food and I was absolutely starving. And we went up to this lovely space and we sat in silence to meditate. And everybody was having this lovely time. And all I could think about were fish and chips and mushy peas with salt and vinegar on. So I was just literally sitting there going, fish and chips and mushy peas.
It could be a mantra in itself. No?
It pretty much was a mantra. It was my mantra. I do love fish and chips and mushy peas. I'm sure that, that's my thing. But I was kind of, and it was a bit difficult for me to get going in that way. It was a bit, so the silent meditation I find I can really do. I get really into that now. Now I've learned the kind of the basics on how to calm my mind and how to stop that inner chatter, which is constant. Which is why I really enjoy the guided meditation, because it gives me something for my mind to focus on. And I find that really helps. I need that a little bit, especially if I've had a really busy day or if I'm a bit stressed. Yeah. Otherwise, my head stays in the stress and the busyness and it doesn't really follow the meditation. Or I end up thinking about fish and chips and mushy peas, and that's not good either.
Yeah, I can totally.
So guided meditations, as well as silent meditations, journaling, setting intentions for your day, but beginning your day right. I love that. It's so important, isn't it? I find for me, I need that in the morning to set my day up right. Really helps me.
I used to hate routines. Like I was proud of hating routines, oh, I need change. I need to, but I've learned so much in the past, years now that I see the benefit of it. And successful people and people really who want to achieve their goals, you need a routine. And it's so powerful because it grows. Like you say, in silence, meditating in silence is, God, we all have our thoughts in our mind. And Esther Hicks says, even listening to the aircon or your breath, or we always need to put our focus on something small that that helps us, our thoughts, to hold on to something in order to stay silent or to get silent. And it's normal, it's human. So don't beat yourself up if you're trying it and you can't do it. Just keep trying every day, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, just
I actually just started with just 3 minutes because that's all I could manage before I started thinking about what I had to do that day or what I was going to have for my breakfast or my lunch. Food's definitely a theme, but I just started with 3 minutes, and I started with just focusing on something that would be really helpful for me to occupy my mind. So focused on my breath. Not good if you're anxious, but I focused on my breath. I focused on a piece of music. I love sometimes just putting a really lovely piece of music on and just listening to that music, and if my mind wanders off the music, just bring my mind back to the music. And I just adore guided meditations. Really, really helpful. Really, really helpful.
I downloaded it. It's called white noise. And it has those it's even for babies, like baby sounds, like when my girls were small, I used to put on the hairdryer or the Hoover or whatever, and that helps. It works wonder. So even for meditation, like you can just have binaural beats. I mean, there are apps, there's everything out there now as well. So that's
So your Visionary Masterclass begins by helping people to put those structures in place so that they've got successful, tried and tested structures that work for successful people. And you show them these. Yeah,
the morning routine, like I said. Also to detox, how to detox, like this Ayurvedic drink lukewarm filtered water with ginger powder in the morning to start with, and just to have this kickoff in the morning. It's just so beneficial for the day, setting the intention for the day. But it also includes a full hypnosis of, I think it's 40 minutes, full hypnosis for self-worth and success, in which hypnosis, and the people or the ladies who bought it now, they listen to it every day, and it's a lifetime tool, really. And that's what I needed for myself at the time, I missed, what I didn't know. And I find this vast information on the internet is huge and it's beautiful. However, I wanted to put everything in one place, and that's what it is. Yeah. So
Yeah.
find everything in this program.
It's like a Swiss Army knife of transformation programs. It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Meditation, journaling, it includes some kind of fuel for your body, fuel for your mind, fuel for your transformation. It just sounds absolutely incredible. I love it. Hypnotherapy for self-worth and success. That's what the audio is that you get with it. Tell me a little bit about your journey to finding self-worth.
Yeah, it's I realized that self-worth, not self-confidence, but self-worth is key to so many things. It defines who we're with, what partnership we allow into our lives. It defines how we treat our body, how we eat, how successful we are. Everything is defined based on our self-worth, on a subconscious or on a conscious level. Again, mostly subconscious. So that was my experience or my realization for myself. And believe me, not long ago, I would never do what I'm doing now, or like going live in my group or camera. Seriously, Amanda.
Yeah.
Was
going live on social media for a lot of people is absolutely terrifying. To be honest, I'll go live, but there's no way you're going to get me doing some kind of funky dance, with all of the things that I do on TikTok. It's far too. I'm not going to shake my stuff on the camera
right now. No.
But it is nerve-wracking, isn't it? And I think what I find more nerve-wracking is when you actually really care about a topic. Say you want to launch a business or you've got an idea. When you really care about it, when it's really important to you, oh my goodness, stepping out and talking about it with other people makes you feel so vulnerable.
Totally. Yeah. And that's the exactly beautiful. That's the key of everything. We're making ourselves vulnerable, but that's where the power lies as well.
Wow.
Realizing that. And I couldn't face going live or showing myself on a camera or whatever. And now it's natural. Now I'm like, I can't wait to do it. I can't wait to go live. And it was all based on fear of judgment, because that's what I was brought up with, comparisons, being compared to other kids, not in a nasty way, but just in a subtle way. And it was enough. And it was unbelievable. And we all have our stories. And I took a coach when I started my business. I took a coach because I find it very important to have somebody who knows what he's talking about by your side. And that's what I do for my clients now. I'm telling them about my experience and my expertise. And I had a coach and I said, but what will I do? I don't dare to go in front of the camera. And his advice was, just do it. Just effing do it. I thought, like, great, thank you. Now I'm really as far as I was before, I'm not going to do it. Don't ask me what happened. Oh yeah, do you know what I did at the time? I actually tricked myself. I made an announcement in my group, on my social media, and I was forced to do it. And I didn't record it and edit the video and I went live straight away and it just did it. And it was the best experience ever. And it broadened my universe. Like, it was great. Yeah. And just saying, I want people to know, or that's why I love helping people to step out of their comfort zone and to really expand into those new worlds. It's like doing your diving license and going into the water and plunging into that water and having a whole new world ahead of you.
Yeah, for many people, their world, or all of our worlds, has become a lot smaller than it used to be. And now is the time to step up and step out and step into that new way of being. And this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity to make your dreams a reality, to do that thing that really inspires you, and to get rid of those toxic self-doubts. Tell me a little bit about the amazing community that you're building on Facebook, because you've got this Facebook group. Tell me a little bit about your Facebook group.
You might laugh when I reveal the name of it because it's called the Mastery of Manifesting Millions. And million
Wow.
as a synonym of anything you want to achieve. Yeah, it can be partnership, it can be wealth or money or happiness or whatever it is. Yeah, a nice body or feeling happy in your body, anything. But I just loved at the time when I created it was like the alliteration MMM. I love it. It just flows. So, and that's my group, and it's growing steadily. It's still small, but I'm really selective. I like to have and invite people into the group who are really open-minded for manifestation, for personal growth and personal development, not just take any Tom, Dick, and Harry into it, because I really want, and it's so beautiful, it's so powerful, because the people in there are all on a personal journey and they want to manifest something, and it's just beautiful. And that's where I'm launching the program on the 15th of this month, in a few days. My maths is really bad. 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 8 days. Or tomorrow it's only 7.
It'll be long. Well, this by the time this show goes out live on the radio and on the podcast, it'll be out. It'll be live. It'll be live. How do people join your Facebook group? How do people find you if they want to work with you?
Yeah, well, I am on Facebook and Instagram, Sonia Maria Horn, and the group is called the Mastery of Manifesting Millions. And yeah, my website. Oh yeah, on my website, actually, if you want to get a sneak peek into my hypnosis,
I
have a freebie there as well for you to download. It's on my website, www.soniamariahorn.com/en, because I also practice in German a lot, actually. But the /en is the English website, and there you can just download the free hypnosis for self-worth and success. So
wow, fantastic. So if you want to have an experience of working with Sonia, if you want to listen to one of her audios, and it's that one, is it? It's the hypnosis for self-worth and success.
That's correct.
Amazing. Oh, and that's available on your website for free. So if you want to have a little freebie, if you want to have a little taster, dip your toe in the water and see if it's for you, give it a go. Head over to Sonia's website and download that audio, the hypnosis for self-worth and success. I'll put the links on the podcast as well, so people can find you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, it's been absolutely amazing to have you on. I feel really honoured to have the first RTT therapist that was ever existed in Germany. It's been so lovely having a chat with you about the things that I'm all very excited and interested in. And it's great to have you on the show. Great to have you on the show. Thank you for coming on. And it just leaves me, wherever you're listening across the globe, I wish you an absolutely wonderful week of blessings and loveliness, and a wonderful week filled with great well-being. Have a lovely week. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to today's podcast. I really appreciate your presence. Now, if you want to experience the full power of your subconscious mind to manifest more abundance and self-worth, leading to more success and overall contentment from within, well, I've got a gift for you. The Self-Worth and Success Hypnosis audio on my website is available for you as a free download. It helps you to unconsciously let go of negative self-talk and money or receiving blocks. You get to rewire and reprogram your mind for success and abundance. This recording has already helped so many people to let go of limiting beliefs and negative blueprints that they didn't even know they had. You can find their testimonies on my website. I promise it's so powerful. Also, I would love to invite you to join my value-packed Visionary Masterclass program. It teaches you all about the power of your thoughts and how to get out of your comfort zone and reach a higher self. You learn step by step how you can reach your goals by setting a focused intention and experience more self-love and a healthy body image with ease and energetic alignment within only 21 days. You can find all my offers and content on my website, www.soniamariahorn.com/en. And of course, you can find all the links in the show notes. So I look forward to seeing you next time on the Self-Worth Accelerator podcast. Until then, take care and reach out to me anytime. I'm here for you.